Wins the victory vein from the long-priced Akihiro.
First down the outside. Wild Moon clear though at the 75. The planets align for Wild Moon. The Garden City get out too good.
Grinding it down. Power Scheme takes all hardwood, then just like Mum Skador, and it's Power Scheme. Power Scheme won.
The 100 Pretty Fry sticks on. It's Glamour Pack, Pretty Fry and Cornflower, but Glamour Pack too good. Packed too many punches for them in the last Glamour Pack.
Please be advised that the following presentation may offend or upset all viewers. Breeders, corporate bookies, stewards, racing participants, jockeys, trainers, racing media, and non-bettors. Nothing on this show should be taken seriously other than the betting advice provided. This message was approved by mailback.com.au. By viewing the show, you lose all rights to complain and or sue. Please enjoy the show. Big team on board. Look at this. Wowee. Look at all the pretty faces we have here tonight. We'll go around the room in no particular order. Tigsy, the man.
Good evening, boys. Thanks for having me back on the show.
Yeah, and we've got Ross Brody, Sot, the great man. We'll get to you in just a moment, but welcome to the show live.
Thanks, Pistol. Good to be back in such illustrious company.
Well, you know, some of us, yes. But Jonathan Walsh, look at him. Just hiding down the bottom there. Walshy, how's the week been treating you? We've got a lot of good news this week, but you look pretty upset to me.
Oh, I'm not upset. Today's just been a debacle. But am I supposed to let everyone know the issues I've had with my tradesman-like behaviour? Or
of course.
Yes, please.
Right. So last week we had a flat day. And I'm like, I'm going to head out on the snapper. I'll see how I go here. And I knew that I had some issues with the lighting, my anchor light on the boat. And I'm like, right, I'll just get this battery operated one. It'll get me through. No worries. So got the 3C batteries, threw it in it. Everything's going good. Get out of a Black Rock boat ramp. It's in my 5K zone. No worries. Head out 16 metres off Black Rock.
It just casually drops in Black Rock, punters.
Yeah.
It was in my 5Ks. Anyway, so head out there to 16 metres, get everything going. Rods are set, burley's in, no problems. And I'm like, right, I've got to get, and I had the anchor light on, as you do, as you're supposed to. I'm like, I'll attach this anchor light with the suction cup up the front so I don't get any problems. So anyway, I suck it down. Everything's good. It was flat as a tack. And needless to say, I heard a plop. I'm like, what the fuck's that? Anyway, I look up the front of the boat. There's the brand new anchor light, just middle of 4:30 in the morning, just shimmering down through 16 metres of water off Black Rock. So there's no anchor light. I'm like, right, no worries. I had a lamp and put that up. That covered for what I need to do. I'm like, right, I've got to go and fix up. I've got to go and replace my anchor light and attach it to the battery. So I knew I needed, so I went down BCF, contactless pick up, got the thing, rang up my mate and I said, you got a soldering line, haven't you? He said, yeah. I said, I'll come around and borrow it. So anyway, contactless, got it. I'm good to go. Turn the thing on, no heat in the soldering line. I'm like, this is not ideal. I want to go fishing tomorrow. It's going to be under 5 knots. So that wasn't working, so I thought I'll get the cigarette lighter out and try and solder the joint cigarette lighter. Burnt my fingers, literally, not in the punning sense. That's no good. Right, I'll ring up Bunnings. I ring up the Sheila at Bunnings and I said, listen,
I don't know if you heard of me. I'm the man, the myth, the legend.
I need a soldering on. I need to go fishing tomorrow. Don't want to get pulled up. I want to be compliant. And she said, Are you a tradie? I said, yeah, I'm self-employed. She goes, have you got a white card? I'm like, no, I haven't got a white card. How long does that take to get? Oh, you can't get that, and we can't let you in. You've got to be a qualified trades ticket. I'm like, listen, can you just get me a soldering on? I'll pay for it over the phone. You can throw it in my car. No. And she said, you can get it online. I said, well, how long is that going to take? She said, 2 days. I'm like, it's no good. Looked at the clock on the computer. It's 5:01. I'm like, Christ. Anyway, super cheap auto. Rang the thing. Sorry, mate, we're just shutting up. No good anyway. Taryn, in her infinite wisdom, did the right thing. I rang Autobarn as well. I said, Autobarn Moorabbin. They said, nah, Chadston. I said, where's Autobarn Moorabbin? Closed in November. Anyway, Taryn's on the phone to Total Tools. The bloke goes, yeah, can you get down here before 5:30? I said, sweet. So anyway, I'm up and going. I've soldered it up. I'm compliant. I've got a brand new LED anchor light on the back of the boat. I'm happy, but the whole thing's cost me, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours that I didn't have. So I suppose the funniest bit is that I lost the bloody battery operated thing, which I wouldn't need to solder it on if it didn't. It's probably still bloody illuminating the water down there as we speak.
I don't reckon you'd be able to solder on anything.
There's plenty. It was lumpy, but it's all together. It's working. Now I've got to plug this other computer in now too. But anyway, today's been a bit of a debacle. Did get some finance deals settled, so there'll be money coming in.
What about the T-shirt? M. Stanley.
Yeah, thanks, Ross Brady. This is a gift from Ross.
He only gave it to you. That was a great story. That was probably nearly as good as my duck pancake story on the beach. It was long.
I agree.
I missed that. What did you say, Roscoe?
I said, no, you're doing a ripper job, Junior.
No worries, mate. Just remember, see what today's the anniversary of? The day you'll go on that badge app, knock off the pot plant from Cox Plate Day.
I don't really think I meant to knock it off. I think you said take the flowers, and I didn't understand that you were supposed to flowers.
All right, it is a pleasure to have both Tiggs and Sod on. I mean, this is Moonee Valley, Moonee Ponds. It's their grand final. Unfortunately, there's not going to be anyone on course, but you two boys are probably well versed in the magic that is Cox Plate weekends. Tiggsy, do you have a great story from Cox Plate weekends gone by?
No, actually. Financially, for me, over the years, it's been a stinker. I don't think I've ever had a winning Cox Plate Carnival. I don't know what it is. I love betting there, but it's just I don't have luck there on this weekend. But hopefully, we can change that and find a few winners.
Yep, and so Young Street. For those who haven't basked in the glory that is their magnificent sangers, and you introduced me to those. Secondhand at Flemington probably was the first time I would say. Can you run us through the menu and what the recommendation is for those who are yet to pop their Young Street cherry?
Yep. So they have 4 or 5 standard ones, which are just they're easily the most popular. I don't eat them because I'm strange, as you blokes all know. I'm very plain Jane, but the Parlo special is the one that everyone seems to eat. I think maybe Curls might have had that when I took Curls there. Parlo special, there's a Young Street special. All ones that are too fancy for me. But they have it, you can make your own, as our good mate in the top corner, Tiggsy, likes to make his own with, what's that shit bread you have?
Rye.
Yeah.
What else goes in it, Tiggs?
Lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, carrot, beetroot, cucumber, the whole lot, basically.
Big controversy this weekend, though, Pistol, because the way it's fallen, normally Cox Plate Day, being Moonee Ponds, like Young Streets, home pants, and you normally go there for a stanger before the races, but because it's grand final weekend, long weekend, the guys are closed. So I found out the hard way prior to the public holiday a few years ago when I was going to the granny with me dad and me godfather, and they came from Bendigo, and I said, yeah, we'll go to Young Street. Lobbed up there, closed. I think most of the boys know what the floor show would have been like from me old man. Ended up having to go to Snitz, I think, or somewhere.
Just quickly on the granny, does anyone have any live bets going into tomorrow or into the weekend, I should say?
Are you going, Curls?
No, Toowoomba's on.
Priorities.
Fuck the grand final. Why would I want to go and watch Geelong or Richmond win a game of football? Hope it's a dead eat, and I hope there's a bomb threat and they have to call it off.
Queensland, so there's a chance.
I'm on the Tiggs at 10-1. So, press.
Nice. And speaking of Tiggs, you're a Bombers fan. Who do you hate more as an Essendon fan, Richmond or Geelong?
or the people running Essendon.
Yeah. I'm not talking footy. I haven't talked about footy for about 15 years. We stink, but anyway.
I thought Essendon supporters hate the bloke that runs that Twitter account days since Essendon won a final.
You done, Kelly?
I'm here all night, brother.
I thought we were mates.
Oh, bloody good. Walshy, you still there?
Yeah, so I'm trying to get myself organised here. Just that one.
Don't get organised. Just be funny. What's happening besides like not being able to fish? You got any more updates?
No, I haven't been. I've been. Look, we're getting into the peak snapper season. I'd rather just not sleep and float in the bay.
What about the rumor that you've been instead of going out like fishing like a sport, you've been targeting some big old fish that are sort of sent to a retirement home, which is a lake near you, and they're basically just sitting there kind of like on death row, and you've gone in there with like not even fishing, you just got one of those big nets.
You have to. You're using light line, Dicko, so you have to use a landing net. You bring the fish to the net, you get in the net, and then you bring it up the bank.
Ah. How old are those fish, though? Seriously?
Nah, 4 years, 4.5 years or something like that. Trout haven't got a long lifespan. It's called the stonker stockings, mate. We just got part of it, you know.
And another friend of the show gave me a little bit of mail that you are still, which I don't believe this, but they said you're still the record holder for the 1,500-metre walk at Warrnambool College.
Quite possibly. I don't know. I remember I broke it in year 12 and the record had stood since 1982.
On the top of his head.
They used to, look, I got wind of this might be happening, right? So I remember in about year 8, like, how am I going to get a day off school here? Like year 8, we still had all the tradies and blokes that were fast. I think you had to finish top 2 to ensure you get a spot at the at this inter-school sports. And I'm like, right, year 8, I'm thinking, there's only half a dozen people lined up for this open walk. If I beat a couple of these lepers, I'm a chance of getting a day off here. So I think I might have ran seconds. That was in year 8. So then year 9, I won it. Year 10, I broke the record. Year 11, I think I didn't try. I didn't.
Any swabs?
Didn't go in there. In year 12, I said, well, I'm not going to leave a lasting legacy any other way. So I all the tradies had actually left school then. Believe it or not, I won the 2 blue ribbon events, 100-metre sprint, which was
fucking turn it up.
That's 100%.
I don't think anyone on this panel believes that for a minute.
That is 100% true, and I reckon there was a travesty that some Sheila who were called Fat Bitch or something said I false started and whatever else. But the ribbon's still in my keeping.
Was it a handicap?
Wasn't a handicap, mate. Lightning, Grease lightning.
Do you
all the tradies have left school, mate?
Do you ring up the college yearly after the event just to check you still hold the record?
I don't know if I do, but I know where that's coming from. So they'll have to. I'll have to go and ask that person if they've still got the printed. They used to give you an A4 sheet, but I'm thinking today's day and age that it wouldn't be like that. But I don't think they'd let me back in that joint Warrnambool College somehow or another. I did have a few issues with the teachers and suspensions and days locked inside and that.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. No joy.
Can I just throw out, am I the only person who wants to see a competitive fishing showdown between Jonathan Walsh and Brad Davison?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Like, surely we can make this a thing. I don't know if we need to find a neutral fishing venue. You guys, we'll swab you both beforehand. God knows we need to swab the other one. But we can get some neutral equipment and get you all sorted. And then we can bet on it. We can bet on it.
They bet on it in England, the carp championships. If there's ever going to be a rort, it'd have to be in the fishing. Like, when you're hooked up to a big one, you could just, say, I want a big one. And then out the side of you, they'd go tap, 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 bang. And then, in it comes.
I reckon next year we should we'll do some form of punters club at the Bull where we'll be there. And early, before we cook ourselves, we'll have a walking championships, like a 800-metre walk. And we'll stagger it. So we'll set Ross off early, Curls and the Wish can bring it up from the back.
I'm broken down, mate. I'm cast. Absolutely cast. What we should do, if they actually let us out in time, we should have a mailbag charter boat out at Carrum for the snapper. You know, I reckon we'd feel it easy.
Yeah, I'm keen.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
A punter's fishing charter. I reckon we could organise that. You could even raffle a couple of spots off for a prize ticker.
I think we've got to take Alison McCook. He's chat's elite on the YouTube each and every week.
What's he fired off, Dickens? I haven't got it there.
Walshy's teacher might have been David Van Dyke, his PE teacher.
You can improve the rest of them.
The PE teacher was the only one who continually called my parents in to the parent-teacher interviews due to my competitive nature. And then she was running around. I don't know if she's got any kids or anything, but anyway, she was running the streets there one day, and my brother and myself were fishing off the bridge. And Michael's hooked into a thumping fish. And she's there, how you going? I'm like, oh, yeah, we're going all right. Got a couple. And then we've got a kid in grade 4 going, fuck, look at the size of this cunt. And then she started, out of school there, I started telling me off for letting me little brother swear like that. I said, don't worry about the swearing. I just got to get this fucking fish in. So it was just another day where the parents got called up at school. What happened? And she couldn't say, well, I caught both your sons swearing their head off out of school. I don't know why she bothered. She was whipping a dead horse.
I can attest to that, having worked for both Mo Tool and Jonathan.
I'm a little bit more calmer on the stand than Mo Tool, Ross.
Give us a spell.
Who's the better one to work for, Sot, when you're man in the bag?
Oh, I hated Michael early. Like, Jonathan would be like, oh, you go work with Michael, and I'll be like, hated it. And then, then Michael became my favourite after a while. But early days, I hated him. I think actually appropriate when we turned the corner was when Winks won her first one. We worked Yarra Glen and we won a stack. So,
fuck. All right.
What's it like, Roscoe? What's it like working with Michael out in the lawn at Warrnambool Cup Day?
remember they sat out there the whole day, hungover,
coming in
sideways, and then we were about to go home, and I didn't know what the drag was. It was like everyone's dead, and they'd lost the tickets.
No, the bag was out $40 or something, wasn't it? And I was like, you can fucking have the 40 on go.
If you want to talk about stories about the bag being out, this is the best. For anyone it's a bloke called Jack Beale. He's 90 and he's been a bookie for over 50 years. A hell of a nice bloke. Anyway, we're counting the bag after Derby or Cup Day, one or the other, and it'd been a pretty solid day. And we counted up and said, hey, Ross, we're $250 short of you. And anyway, we hunted around everywhere, couldn't find them. Like, it'll turn up in, the client bet we put in wrong because it's about that amount. One of the clients would have 250 or something. I'll put it in for cash. Anyway, we turned up there on it must have been Cup Day. Turned up on
Oaks Day.
And then old Jack Beale goes, how was your bag on Tuesday? I said, we're down $250. Anyway, so he pulls out the 250. Ross had kicked it under the stand, I reckon, waiting to pick it up.
Going to get
Thursday.
It on Thursday to get a start.
But Jack got to it first and give it back. So five bundles, 20 at five bundles of 10 $5 notes, $55 notes, $250. Thank God it wasn't a bundle of 50s, or we would have been, I don't know what would have happened.
Well, if it was a bundle of 50s, we'd be still there looking for it with you. So
yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay, guys, should we kick in to the big one? Should we start previewing the Cox Plate? Because, I don't know if it would take us a while to get into it or not. Dickens, Cox Plate.
I'll finish off the Cox Plate. Everyone else can have an opinion at the start, yeah? I've got the map there, which will come up on your screens. Found it a little bit difficult to sort of map. I thought I think Russian Camelot goes forward from the wide draw. I think Grand Slam will lead. Like Master of Wine led a Caulfield Cup last week, so who knows there. I doubt they'd do it again because it went so weak, so they'll ride it cold, I thought. And I think that Willie Pike has a pretty safe passage here with Arcadia Queen. What do you guys think, Jonathan?
The map's going to change a lot because I mean this is Moonee Valley we're talking about. We've got how many races have we got on the?
This is like this 16th or 17th race.
Yeah, so we've got 18 races. This is the 17th race on it. We don't know what we're going to get with the weather. Generally, it still has been advantageous to be on pace, but if it absolutely pours rain, they could be swinging off the camber by this time of day and shooting down past the middle of the track. So, I mean, the map for the Cox Plate, I reckon, is sort of out the window because we just do not know what we're going to get. Look, Arcadia Queen was wasn't a bad result here. If I would have been on course, I'd still be counting my money. The old bar plate's off. They improved 6 lengths. Like I said to you after the last start, Dicko, I said, Pike's taken Arcadia Queen the worst part of the track. This thing's going to improve. And it did, you know. It's always good to, you know, say how big a genius you're after the fact. But I would have got stuck into Russian Camelot. I really don't know what to do here with a lot of these internationals and how good they're going to be.
Well, just on that, we'll start by rolling a few of these replays of the last start of some of these internationals. So the first of those, we'll see Armory running third to Magical and Gaia in the Irish Champion Stakes. But go on, Walshy.
What about the tweet today, Walshy? What about the tweet late this afternoon from Racing Victoria with these horses presenting lane?
At that stage, I was running around down Warragul Road trying to get a soldering on.
Sorry, yeah, you're on the end of the soldering on. Yeah, no, sorry.
I've got to get out and get these bloody 5 and 6 kilo fish tomorrow morning, and I'll be up at about 2:30, and hopefully, I'm not sure whether to go to Blackrock or Carrum. So, you know, I've got a lot of big decisions to make.
Of that tweet?
Oh, I suppose it's less than ideal, isn't it? Like, now, I think it was the Melbourne Cup last year where they got the CT scanner out and they bone scanned a couple of horses.
It's because they had those couple of fatalities, like in that, like the final straw was that Cup year where it pissed like 40 mil of rain. They changed the track 6 times and it ended up like a soft 5, apparently. And that horse broke down in the first corner.
Yeah.
Cliffs of Moher.
Cliffs of Moher, yeah. And ever since then,
it was well in the market too, yeah.
It almost won the Caulfield Cup, that horse.
But we have Armory and Magic Wand both presenting lame, showing signs of lameness on veterinary inspection this afternoon and be vetted again tomorrow.
Oh, should be hundreds then.
Okay. Well, we've also got Aspetar, who will watch the replay of winning the Group 2 York Stakes. Now, a couple of these horses, and we'll be sending this out again with the EDM, with the newsletter tomorrow. We'll be sending out Drew's ratings on these horses and his point of view with them going towards the Cox Plate, so you'll get a little bit more information with that. Aspetar was seen in the Hong Kong Vars as well, as was Anthony Van Dyke for that matter, but both horses failed on that occasion. Do we have any of an opinion of Aspetar or Armory so far?
I'm just trying to find this bloody tweet. RB Stewards, is it?
I don't know. I've blocked all stewards from all states of racing. Yeah. I had Armory in my numbers as a betting proposition, for sure. Less so Aspetar from the bloke that does Queensland for a living. Just delving into a few internationals.
Yep.
Yeah, but you've got as much clue as me. Anyone else? Like, they don't race here. They may as well be from Queensland. You know what I mean? Like, I think that the market's a guide. Last weekend, Van Dyke went enormous, and late was 8s to like 570, like absolutely crunched. The amount of money that would have taken at that time of the Betfair market is fucking enormous. So
a lot of it was Tigsies, I think.
Give it up.
We'll go to Sir Dragonet running second to Magical in the Group 1 Tats Gold Cup. Just note that Sir Dragonet is wearing pink in this replay. He's wearing different colours there on Saturday. Tiggs, do you have an opinion of the Cox Plate this year?
Yeah, I'm going to just ignore the internationals. If they win, I'll lose. I'm going to just back Arcadia Queen as long as it doesn't get too rain affected the track. Keen on her. And I'm going to back Grand Slam, a 3-year-old, and I'll get laughed at, but I'm going to be back in the Toya to win a stack too.
Okay. CS ratings, hashtag.
Can I ask you Melbourne blokes that follow it a bit closer than me, because this is race number 17, what races during the day are these jocks going to give one a run to feel certain parts of the track throughout the day?
Moonee Valley Cup's very good for that, I reckon, Charles.
Just licking me lips at a proposition where we can make an earn here. I reckon a couple of these jocks are going to be looking to, at some stage, surely, they're going to be looking at different lanes and putting horses hard fence or something to try and work out where the best and worst going is, aren't they? Surely, we always see it year on year.
Yeah.
What was that one that springs to mind? I think it was Winks' second Cox Plate and Bowman. Was it Lady LaFay or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
$2.30. And he's just like angling up through the inside. No, this is good. This is fucked. This bit worked out well though.
He got the job done. Like,
no knock. Just give us a heads up, boys.
I'd be doing the same thing if I was Huey.
Yeah. Jackson, what's your opinion of the Cox Plate?
I mean, it's pretty much dependent on the weather for me. Of the internationals, I thought Armory was clearly the best. Pretty keen to be against Arcadia Queen, it must be said, though. Like we're going to cop way too much rain. Russian Camelot has two big SPs over her, and and out at the same price here. Like I've marked Arcadia Queen $12. I thought she was the lay and the weak spot in the market. But if Armory is lame, then you probably can't take the sixes. But I thought it was overs if it's all sweet.
Okay, Wishy.
It's funny. Blake messaged me, and I've had to have a bit of a look at it. What about this? I haven't seen this lame. I hope it's Aspita's not lame, is it? It's right to go.
No, it's right. Magic Wand and Armory at the moment. They're the two for the Aidan O'Brien camp.
D lane barrier 3 would usually be of benefit in the Cox Plate. It's in the race for sure. Magic Wand, like I still go back to when it won. It's won in Australia, but it's lame. Jesus, this is a tough race. Like Russian Camelot at a barrier 15. Where will it go? Like, will Damien go to the top on it?
Has to go forward. Has to, doesn't it?
I think he'll sit outside. He'll sit outside the leader, or if he wants to sit even wider, like if the track cuts up.
He's got a chance to have one of the, imagine if Damien Oliver just goes absolutely mad, goes out by 3 or 4 lengths and says, "Catch me if you can" on Russian Camelot. All the futures punters will just roar when it's coming into the straight. Like, I must be the only bloke in Australia who hasn't backed it in a futures market somewhere. But look, this is just such an open race, and you can almost guarantee we'll get 100-1 blowout, like a Pinker or whatever. What else was Pinker 26-1? I think when it won the.
It was 20s, I think.
Yeah, you'll get a Pinker result because there's no bookmakers on course. Like, it'll be the biggest set of all time, this carnival. And I'll just be sitting here, bloody, I don't know, trying to eat out of the lake and the bay to survive.
Oh, in terms of... No, we've lost Tiggs.
Sorry.
He's tried to ask a question, but he's lost the...
Live, mate. It's live.
Fuck. I'm so sorry, boys. I'm an idiot when it comes to technology. Hey, well, can I just jump in and ask Walshy a question? What's the business been like through COVID with the phone on that on a Saturday?
What do you reckon your return on investment's been like, Tiggsy?
I think I've only had 3 bets with you.
Yeah, for 2 winners.
Good question.
Yeah.
That was a little volley here.
Little setup.
It hasn't been that good. But it's been difficult, as I said. You've worked for me before. The blokes will land on the one horse, and then I've either got to work out how much I want to lay it for. I'll go a bit weak and have too much back, and then they don't have a bet for 4 races. And it's difficult. You can't. It's not bookmaking. It's just punting in reverse. I'm just punting against the clients. So might be a bit different through Carnival because all the horses are trying and people have got different opinions. Can play a few in a race, but it's not. It's just not the same watching them on TV. You got no character on TV when you're there and you see the horse and look the punter in the eye, and that's just much better.
Yeah.
Completely. Curly, you want to finish off your thoughts for the Cox Plate? Sounds like you've done a bit of digging.
Yeah. I've got Probabile as a winning hope. I've got Armory as a winning hope pending vet report. I don't know. It's hard to know. I suppose it'd be hard for a vet to, we've heard this before, where a trainer's up in arms and blowing up because this is how the horse presents every day of the week. When it's racing, it's always sort of, half, a bit of heat in this joint or whatever else. We hear it all the time. I sort of went through a bit of a process of elimination. I watched that Humidor replay when it ran second to Winks and copped the best ride I've ever seen in a Group 1. When it ran second, you just can't discount the trainer, obviously depending on track and that sort of stuff. But Probabile's pretty, a good draw, good run in transit, gets its chance, and sort of Armory. So they're the sort of two that I've sort of landed on. I thought Grand Slam would lead, and I thought it was a great inclusion by the Moonee Valley Racing Club committee to include it into the race. I think it just adds a little bit of X factor. So I think, like you said, we talked about the tempo. I think we sort of, I would not be surprised. I'd be surprised if that wasn't the tempo. Grand Slam and Russian Camelot, who, probably got out dashed last start. So I think Ollie would want to make sure that he's not getting out dashed here. And that's probably why I've got Probabile in the mix, getting the right run is behind them. And Arcadia Queen, I had to cross it off on with Jacko because of the wet. So wouldn't be upset if Humidor or Probabile or Armory won.
Okay. We'll run the replay of the Caulfield Stakes, which was Russian Camelot and Arcadia Queen, as we throw to Jack Dickens. Dicko, are you sticking with the Russian? You've been with him all spring.
Yeah, I'm already on at $9. If the rain doesn't come, yes, it should come. But it was supposed to rain a lot last week and it didn't rain a stack. If the rain doesn't come, Arcadia Queen will start favourite. If it's only a little bit of rain, I think you need to be neutral on her if you've already got a position on Russian Camelot, which if you're watching our stuff and listening to RSN when we go on, you probably already have. So I'm sort of talking to people who are on at the $9. Great price. The wetter, the better. We have the best rider in the race. We have a draw where he can do whatever he wants to. If he's half slow and he wants to go forward, he still can go forward. Whereas if he's half slow from the inside, he'd be buried back the fence. Drawn wide, the second last race of this carnival is a good thing. Willie Pike riding Arcadia Queen is a bad thing. He is limited and he will struggle riding Moonee Valley. And the wetter it gets and the more tactical this race is, it's not a positive for him, but I think he's on the best horse on a good track. They're the two that I've focused on. I don't know what to do with the internationals, and then when they're lame or vet checked, it just scares me off even more. I think Humidor, if it gets out, it could well get out to like $50 the fair late. It needs to be at least a neutral position. It flies Valley, it flies Cox Plates.
Say Williams.
If anything, a train upgrade. But it's you've got to be with. There was no intent since it won at the Valley, and it just ticked over beautifully. The race set, the slower they go, the better for Arcadia Queen. But I think Ollie would know that. I think the camp, Danny O'Brien would know that. I think he'll set him alight. I think he'll go real quick, and it'll be a great race.
Okay.
I'm cheering Russian Camelot, and I'm already with it, and I'll probably be with it again the more rain that comes.
I was going to say, I will be having something small on Fierce Impact. I reckon it sort of might have had a bit of just a run last start, and this might be primed up, and it'll be 30-40 to 1 as well.
I think if it wins, and it can win, it'll mean that when you get the data back on the Sunday that they've gone real slow. If they go slow, it's as big a chance as Arcadia Queen, just luck and run. But I just think that surely they go pretty quick. Grand Slam, like if we own Grand Slam, we're saying we get going from the 1,000. The biggest edge we've got is our speed and our weight. So we want to get them all off the bit. I'll be shocked if it's a sit and sprint.
Recent times, 3-year-old's got a good record in the Cox Plate.
Yep.
Alrighty. So do you have a little bit of gold for the Cox Plate?
No, I think it's great that it's the most even edition for a while. Obviously, we had Winks for however many years, but yeah, it's confusing. I'm with Russian Camelot already. Respect the TS rating set, so Grand Slam will be a small winner. Probable as well. I'm with Curls like Great Barrier, Gun Jockey. The Sydney win was massive, and if the rain doesn't come, yeah, I'll be Arcadia Queen won't be losing.
Love it. Just from the internationals, from Drew's point of view, early thoughts. Aspetar is international of interest for me at this stage. This was written last week. We're getting double-figure odds, and the horses, the ratings on the board to measure up. Interesting to note that Aspetar's time form rating is 124. That figure was not recorded in any of its last 3 starts. It's coming off a last start run of 123. That puts it right in the strike zone to be figuring here. Armory's got the same figure, 124. That looks like the figure that's required to be winning a Cox Plate off the last 5 years. The only 2 Australian horses that have that figure at the moment, Arcadia Queen and Russian Camelot. There we go. Shall we move on to the other big one, the Manikato?
Just a quick one, Pistol. This is for you. Arcadia Queen, I heard comment today from, I think, Williams and Bob Peters that they weren't concerned if it was a soft track for Arcadia Queen. She hasn't had a lot of experience. What are your thoughts on that?
Piero Mare. Yeah, I'm not too sure what the breed's like in the wet. I wouldn't think it would be too much of a drama, but I don't think she'd want it heavy, so to speak. I think she is definitely more effective. And we've seen that with her best ratings so far that they have been on hard tracks. But, yeah, I wouldn't think she would want it too wet.
Yeah, and I think it's important to clarify, and I assume everyone is of the same opinion as me. If it gets to like a heavy 9 or worse, I don't want to really bet. There's already enough unknowns here. Then if it gets to a real boggy track,
well, on RSN
Russian Camelot might not get through a bog. You don't know. On
the radio today, I think they said Marty Synan thought the track wouldn't get any worse than a soft 7, which I was surprised to hear, but more likely a soft 5, 6. So,
yeah,
beautiful. All right, Manikato Stakes, guys. The market will come up. Then Dickens Speed Map. There's a lot going on. Walshy, lead us off. Who do you like in the Manikato?
Hope you're talking to me. I'm Friday night. If it's on pace, Pippi's going to lead, and it should be a little bit more seasoned now. D Lane aboard. It might get to 1,200 in the Manikato. I'm happy to back Pippi, and depending on the track pattern, I still reckon Brooklyn Hustle's got a motor, and it might be ready as well. So they're the 2 I'm with. I'm sort of just the way everything maps out. Like Dirty Work will get back, Trekking will get back, Bella Vella will lead, but it's got a wide draw. So yeah, just Pippi. If they're leading, Pippi is one for me, and if it's a little bit fair, I'll be having something on Brooklyn Hustle as well.
Okay. Tiggs, I'll throw to you. Manikato Stakes.
Yeah, tricky race. I tend to agree with Walshy with Pippi, but there'd be that last 50 that she might be looking for the line. But I'm going to back one at a long price, as I like to do. I'm going to have something on Order of Command.
Okay.
Wow.
Reasoning on that?
Yeah. Well, you got the best jockey and the best trainer, and I don't think the horse's form's too bad, and it's never been far off the really good horses. I know it's a Group 1 and he hasn't measured up to that level, but
it's a Group 2, really, though, isn't it? And
yeah, that's right.
What about yesterday at Geelong? Like they just exploded, all of them.
Yeah, like from 11, he's probably going to have to sneak out at the back, but silly things happen, and they bet 60-1, so I'll have a bet, and cross the fingers, I guess.
Okay, Jacko. Now we've got these 2 nice races, and we'll show the replays of both the Scalacci and then the Moya. We'll start with the Scalacci. Dirty Work won that race, defeating Diamond Effort, Haydock, Splintex, Order of Command. Which of the 2 races are you leaning towards as a form reference here?
Yeah, I'm probably leaning towards a Scalacci a little bit more. I thought one of the runs of that race was A-Doc, actually.
Oh, here we go. The Pistol Jacko show. Fuck me. Buckle up, punters. They've had a little chat pre-game here.
SP, a hard market. And it just looks like everything is prep has just been revolved around trying to peak on this day, on this race. Like last preparation, 1,200 metres at Valley, SP $2.50 in a pretty good race. My only concern would be if it was too wet. I don't think he wants it too wet, but I think we're getting the price to find out if only a little bit of rain comes. And concerningly, the other horse I found was Kementari. Positive jockey change, blinkers back on. I think he just peaked late over the 1,200 metres there. I think it'd be fitter. Again, probably don't want too much rain, but does have a peak figure on a soft track, which pretty much none of the other horses do. So those were the two I found.
Okay, we'll watch the replay of the Moya next, which was Pippi defeating Trekking, Bella Vella, Brooklyn Hustle, Diamond Effort, Haydock was in that race as well. Curly, did you look at the Manicato?
Indeed. Only because it's wedged in between the Sunny Coast BM 55 mile and the benchmark 61 2000. It sort of gets in the way, so I had to have a look at it. Yeah. First thought. At first, I thought, just with the tempo that similar to the other day with Dirty Work and sort of Diamond Effort chiming in at the right time. Don't mind the thought process around Haydock either. It can run a strong 1,200, so it can be overly aggressive. Where something like Pippi, maybe even Bella Vella. They can't necessarily, or Pippi, may not be able to necessarily, afford to be aggressive to run a strong 1,200, where I think Haydock can be aggressive and still be strong at the end of 1,200. I think that's the difference between those two horses. And if Haydock finds the girth of Pippi, it'll be stronger than it late for sure. I think they'll ensure that it is run strongly, which gives Dirty Work a hope and probably Diamond Effort again. So they're the three that I thought. If the prices were allowing to, I could sort of make them winning results.
Sot, you getting anything out of the Young Street shenanigans to fire through into the Manicato?
Yeah, I'm not desperate to have a bet in the race, but if I had to have a pick, Trekking's probably the one with the A-grade form. It's got the SP profile. If they go mad, it might be an in-play go for me. If they're going bananas,
I don't know if you want to be betting in play at the moment, Ross.
Oh, Banquo.
Yeah, so I knew when those words were coming out that it wasn't the right thing to say about in play. But if I had a pick, Trekking, but there's no spoil at $4. I wouldn't think, is there?
Dickens, final thoughts on the race? What do you reckon?
I'm a bit scared by what the boys have said. I think the Moya's a much stronger form line than the Shalaki, whatever it's called. Shalaki.
Got 3 S's in it.
Shalaki Stakes.
Shalaki.
Savlaki Stakes.
It's a long, long way down the list.
Group 3 race from Caulfield where
mispronounced.
Borderline group horses sort of bunched the finish. Octane was thereabouts. I don't think that's the right form line. Maybe I'm wrong. I think the race is pretty simple. Bella Vella is going to get a better run than it got there. It goes from barrier 1 to outside. At SP, $7 versus Trekking, $8 in the Moya. You're now going to get $14. You just have to bet. That's simple. The way I.
Yeah. So Jack, does she lob outside Pippi? But if Haydock kicks up, she might be parked 3 deep.
Yeah, Luke Curry's riding. I'd rather Jamie Cole than Luke Curry right now. I'm glad he didn't get hurt. That looked scary yesterday at Geelong.
He fell on his head.
Oh, we were on.
It
was a sickening twist of events. I'm glad he's okay, but I was happy the horse got scratched.
Yeah. Yep.
Because we were on about 360 and it was about $7 a fare at that time. So it was a good scratching for us. Anyway, back to this race. Manicato. I think Bella Vella's the SP profile bet here. The gets a golden switch, a Lamborn Pearl. They stand the test of time, these things. It's got the SP, it gets a golden switch. It's suited the Valley. It loves the Valley. She's riding as good as anyone. There's a great opportunity for her to win a Group 1. I think Pippi is bomb-proof. I think you can sort of get your bigger result, Bella Vella, something Pippi, and probably save Trekking. Because if they overdo it, it's got the, like I agree with Ross, it's got the grouse form, like the elite form. We're talking about dirty work. It couldn't get a run the Everest. Trekking ran 4th in it. Like, it's proper form. If they go hard, it's going to be motoring home. And this is the bloke who, like, well, this is live, isn't it? But the Sheik's got more money than God. They're only running this horse if it's cherry ripe.
It's also apparently flying over the Perth for the Winterbottom, which is disappointing considering that, you know, basically no human, let alone horse, apparently can enter state of WA. But that's all right because Kementari and Trekking are heading over
corners. Have you seen Four Corners?
I have not seen Four Corners yet. Or what?
Runs through his own set of rules.
Oh, that Four Corners. Yeah, I've seen that. That's bloody good, isn't it? Yeah. Outstanding. Would make a good movie if it was not real. In which case it doesn't have to be a movie. Just watch Four Corners. Right. The Crystal Mile, race 7. Who wants to lead us off with the mile race? Tiggs, I'm looking at you.
Yep, rightio. Just give us a couple of seconds.
All right, no worries.
I'm going to say something to Jack Dickens.
Well, what are we? Is this on the Saturday or the Friday? This is based on Saturday.
Yeah, it's on the Saturday this year.
Firstly, Jack, if you tipped Age of Chivalry, I'll spew up. That horse is a flea, right?
It's just put on 6 lengths now.
Absolutely. Now, I'll have a bet, and I'm going to back Galaxy Raider and Chief Ironside.
Ooh, like it.
That's it.
Dicko, right of reply?
It's a bet.
Yeah, of course it is. Put your ego aside.
It was enormous last start. Enormous. It was very plain the start prior. It was as good as it could be at the start prior at the Valley.
Like Be Good to Your Mother. It hasn't gone a yard.
Sorry?
For 12 months. It's no good. It's like Be Good to Your Mother. In 12 months, hasn't gone a yard. Just, you've got to cut it. You've got to let it go.
It ran 3rd or 4th in Sir Rupert Clark, didn't it?
Someone ran 3rd and 4th to Jonathan in the walk-in too.
I wasn't playing back pocket for what Golden Square when we played Gisborne back in the day.
It's run 4th in the Toorak. I backed Dr. Drill at $7 to win the Cranbourne Cup. Willow half slaughtered it, but it still was pretty weak. No thanks. Galaxy Raider will get too far back and too risky.
Okay.
Streets of Avalon, it is gone. There you go. That's probably the one that bobs up now on pace and just wins. But Kingswell Dream's a horse that scares me, but it scares me more that Michael Rod's riding it. No thanks. Homesman's a horse that I think you just have to wait and watch what the market does. If it's firm till they come for it, you just have to be at least neutral on it. It's the best horse in the race. It's proven this track. It's the scary horse for me here. But I think Age of Chivalry is a bet.
I looked at him, and the first thing I looked at, I'm like, geez, Age of Chivalry is going to get the run of the race here. But it'll probably lobby the 3rd or 4th. And to support Tiggsy, Chief Ironside, I believe, won.
He won last year.
Yeah, I was going to say it's won this race, and it was
we backed it last year. We backed it like $27.
I was at a wedding and missed out. Grouse.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember it being a massive result through the book. Like, any draws are all right. So I'm really sitting on the fence here. Yeah, I don't mind Age of Chivalry and I don't mind Chief Ironside. So,
well, pledge your allegiance. Don't sit on the fence. You got your last 100.
Beg your pardon?
If you've got your last 100, which way is it going?
No, I had to buy a soldering iron and an LED. Soldering iron was $28, $49.95 for the light. So $22.55 left. Geez, if Kingswell Dream was on pace there too. Look, this is appeals to me as a bookmaker, not as a punter. And as I said, I'll be sitting here twiddling my thumbs on the couch. So
soldering on.
Yeah, no, I'm sitting on the fence.
I tell you what,
I'll just declare one. The other one will improve fucking 10. I'll do my ass. I
have a question regarding Almedo. horse that was brought out by Aquis, went to Casey Fogden and had that run in the
Ajax, or the Ajax, if you want to say it otherwise.
What the race where they run it around in a circle and try and run the fastest. And then it was coming to Queensland for the Stradbroke, I think, or something like that was the original plan. Aborted mission, and then went to Waller. And I just it's Waller, you know. I know it's Waller first up, which is probably not a bet, but like this is, you know, Waller at the mile off 2 trials, you know, in a Group 2 or whatever it is, in a group race. It's just like it's the market will be fascinating there for me. It's one of interest, and
I just thought the 800-meter trial curls was like 900-meter trial, 800-meter trial. This is a decent race.
What about the query on the bandages? It's not. I'm not saying it can't win, but I don't like horses with bandages.
I don't know. It's fucking Waller.
Yeah,
and there was money for it at 650 or something. You know, was it half a point? It was firm. Be interesting to see what happens on the day. But I reckon, like, while she's saying there, like, there's so many ifs and buts with a few of these horses. Like, it could, you know, Chief Ironside's like right in the market. It's got beat in a Scone Cup. It ran okay in I think it was a Stradbroke when it was up here, because I think we're on it.
So does that mean we're overlooking the obvious with Homesman? I mean, he's favourite, but he did win the Fern last year. He's a good horse.
I was just being like a bit, you know, fun with Age of Chivalry. I love the horse, but I agree with Tiggs. I think Homesman's the most likely winner, and that's why it's favourite, I guess. But I just want to see that. I don't want to bet on that horse until I'd rather take a little bit less, knowing that it's on board, it's ready to go today. They're trying.
So could you say the same with Kingswool Dream or what?
Oh, I'm not backing Michael Rod on Cox Plate, Dave, on a back marker at Moonee Valley.
The Hot Rod was a bloody champion jockey. I don't know why you hate him so much.
I don't hate. It's not hate. It's a betting decision.
Yeah, but that's Dicko, you hate to back him.
Well, she makes everything personal all the time.
You say he's a back marker, but who's to say he doesn't lob outside the leader?
Yeah, that's fair. I haven't seen a change of tactics yet, but
okay.
I don't think they'll take on, like, Homesman will be up there, Age of Chivalry will be up there. Dr. Drill's got speed. There's another one. Where was it?
Streets of Avalon, Age of Chivalry.
Yeah, there's 4 horses that'll, like, I doubt they try and take it on, and then this Aquis horse might roll forward. I think Kingswood Dream will be, like, sort of in the back half. Galaxy Raid will be last. Maybe even Riddle Me That will go back from that wide draw with Stackhouse on.
Yeah.
So, do you have a point of view in the Crystal Mile?
No opinion here.
All right, Jacko.
I'll just be Earth riding it, Age of Chivalry.
And sometimes when there's like a race like this where the speed's drawn in, like in the inside lanes, the outside horses just give up before they jump. They all just slot into their positions like a peloton and go real slow, which is not what Kingswood Dream or Galaxy Raider want.
Yep, I think that's a fair call. Jacko, do you have anything to add to the Crystal Mile?
No, it was too hard for me. If the rain doesn't come, I was Chief Ironside. I think he gets a good map. I've got a 1 out, 1 back. Craig Williams on, but we'll probably get the rain, so probably no bet.
Okay, well, a race you were keen to bet into is at Benalla, race 1.
Yeah, why?
You get up. Benalla the first.
All right, run us through it. The market will come up.
Jacko?
What's up, mate?
Are the odds already up?
Yeah, the odds are up.
Oh, fuck, where at?
Benalla race 1.
We've got.
Give me a code sign. What day is this?
We've got the fast feed here. We can get on quickest.
What day is it?
Walshy, I'll have 200 the nose, please.
It is tomorrow, race 1.
Tigsy, there's no betting. I'm going to have to turn the course phone on. You're going to have to ring through. You know how it works, mate.
I'm not on yet either, which could be a mistake in hindsight.
I can just grab it and turn it on, Tigsy.
Live, Jacko.
All right, Benalla race 1. Do we have a map up?
Yeah, it will be coming up just a moment. Yeah, it is.
So the horse that likely leads here is the Danny O'Brien horse, Still Be Friends, who is the horse we'll be focusing on. I think it's a bet. Just don't worry about anything it's done in its careers. Today, it's coming off a spell. The plums have been off. It's been Caldered. It's had 3 jump outs. The first of which was September 11. It went well, wasn't asked for an effort. Then in a week later, horses just don't jump out any better than what it did. It won by like 7 lengths under a hole.
What race is this? I cut out there, quick.
Penella race 1, number 16. Still be friends. The jump out was unreal against some pretty good horses, and then was meant to run a week later, didn't get a run. Was meant to run at Mornington sort of a week and a half ago, but they scratched on the heavy track. Went to the jump outs again and won under a hold against Bungalow Bill, who beat home Arctic Wolf. And you can take that form line in. Arctic Wolf has SP'd 850 against Splendor on the Grass, mystery shot at Caulfield. So, and Danny O'Brien is airborne. When his horse is resuming off 90 or more days over the last 6 months, he's going at 80% profit on turnover for those horses. So I think he rolls forward. I think there's sort of $6 available. I've marked him 350, and I think he'll win.
Hey, Tigsy, do you know the mare of this horse that Jacko's tipping?
What's the mare?
Was something Halliwell. So
Halliwell.
Who was it?
Where was the best price?
No, the good one was Halliwell Bell.
Across the board, $6.
You can get $7.50 right now at one Top Sport.
Top Sport.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
$8 if you use your boost. If you haven't used it today, your top-up token.
It's now $5.50.
Sorry, everyone.
Just like
thanks, Curls.
A quick sort of comment on the other horses. Johnny Thunder's probably the other horse I won't end up losing on. Was on speed there last start and still ran the fastest last 200 of the race. I think he's looking for 1,200 metres. Keep Your Distance was a little too short. Like it was well supported on debut, but I couldn't come into it at the price. Reciprocation could well be the other best horse in race. Jumped out well at Ararat, and then the last jump out at Burren Beat was pretty good against some pretty good horses. But Eel Farley's never a betting proposition for me, and a pretty open map from Barrier 3. And that's pretty much it. So, yeah, I think it's a good bet.
All right. We'll quickly dash up to Queensland, Curls. What do you got for the weekend? We're not going to preview any races as such, but just give us a bit of a run around as to what you're looking at.
I'm getting on
now. Tomorrow is Sunshine Coast. There's 7 races there with a few Moonee Valley races wedged in between. The highlight is on the card is probably the Struick Maiden Plate, race 7 over 1,000 metres. Couple of first starters there that you keep a close eye on. The market moves tomorrow morning around 9 a.m. We'll be betting at Doomben and the Gold Coast Saturday afternoon. I'm sort of hoping for a bit of a fill-up Saturday night. I anticipate 99% of the eyes of the country will be on the AFL Grand Final. And my fucking little peepers will be firmly fixed on Toowoomba. There's 7 races there we'll be betting into. So as far as races, the good races are concerned in Queensland, compared to the rest of the country, there is none anywhere in Queensland this weekend. Probably the best horse, or one of the most progressive horses resuming, is Nidorp, a horse that we've spoken about plenty of times previously on the show. It goes around tomorrow, Saturday at Doomben in race 1 at $1.40. Genzai the Wolf will sit on its back and run second to it. That'll be the highlight of the weekend.
All right, very good. We'll touch on quickly on WA. There's a few questions that have come in regarding Clairvoyance, who's got bar shoes on. Now, to clarify, it's only a single bar shoe on. I believe it's a near 4, as opposed to in some publications it's been mentioned it's both 4 feet. It's only the near 4. DMAC, the trainer, Darren McAuliffe, is one of the best in WA, if not one of the best in the country, of utilising a bar shoe to good effect. Shouldn't cause an issue. She's just better than them. In terms of horses that you're looking at to follow out of the race, though, there's a horse called Real Grace and another horse called Queen Brown. I think they'll be horses that you'll be wanting to follow over a mile and then up towards the Kingston town. But that also depends on if Clairvoyance decides to go that way as opposed to the Winterbottom. In terms of the other good races, there's some cracking little races coming up in the second half of the card, in particular the quaddie leg. The first leg of the quaddie, it's just outstanding, that race. So pretty fat racing all round. I'm just spewing. I've missed a few bets at Geraldton sort of doing this tonight. So apologies to Gropers. We've just lost a bit more cash that we could have had because we had a good day yesterday. 1 bet for 1 win.
You too, Pistol.
What did I do?
Well, tipping that winner yesterday.
Yeah, that was a grouse.
That was terrific.
I sort of get a bit like, I'm not sure, for people that are watching that don't get Pistol stuff, you should, but you can, after getting your stuff for a little while, I sort of get a bit warm and fuzzy when I see you like wanting to launch into a horse that's firm in the market, because that tells me that you really, really like it, and I always press harder. Like, I know it's probably not the right thing to do, and we should follow your staking strategies.
Yeah, no, I'm the same, Curls.
When you like one that's in the market,
that makes 3 of us.
Not me. I'm very controlled with my units.
Oh, yes.
There you go. Just ignore.
Who should go through right now? Who's the most the least controlled? It would start with Ross.
I should be the one. I could voice this one pretty easy.
Be Ross, me, then maybe Tiggs, then Curls, then Jacko, then Pete, then obviously we should be the tightest with because it's just cash, so it just translates across every aspect of cash. He has a very, very close eye on what goes in and what comes out.
He's still working now. Look at him.
No, look, after we finish this live broadcast, I think Twitter's going to go into meltdown.
Yeah, it already has. I'm getting tagged in shit relentlessly.
Do we want to talk? What's going on?
I'm just reading. I just don't know what to. I'm only halfway through it, but it's a surprise anyway.
Okay.
So I can. Whoa.
There's a story. There's a story in the Age, basically confirming what we got, what I spoke about, which got our contract suspended, terminated at Betfair. So it'll be interesting to see how Betfair respond to that.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about Aidan O'Brien horses are going to be scanned before the Cox play. Fuck. Don't mind me.
That too. All right, let's go through some value bets and any lay bets. Jacko, besides Benella, which is already firmed. So hopefully you got something on there before.
Benella race 1. That's all I got for you.
Okay, very good. Curly, do you have anything you're happy to throw out?
What about that lay bet I threw out last week that started 260 and got rolled, and I fucking somehow didn't win on the race? How the fuck does that happen? Bad wagering. Yeah, that same horse that we laid last Saturday, 05 Glory, it's accepted again on Saturday, which will be 3 Saturdays in a row, or succession, as they call it. I think we'll lay it again. It's 480. We'll lay it again.
Okay, beauty.
And we'll bet around it.
Sot, do you have a best bet, something you're declaring?
And also, our man Josh Jenkins wants a story. Deliver.
Story.
You can't leave us with the last one, which was that Cox played. Was that this time last year?
Grand final, because we had him on for the footy to talk about the footy. It was Moya.
But you've had 13 months to bounce back from that story.
I can't think off the top of my head. Someone else talking, I'll think of a quick story.
All right. Hey, I'm gonna back Ocean X each way in the Moonee Valley Gold Cup, especially if it's leaders track. There you go.
All right, good. Like it, Tiggs.
I've thought of a story.
Yep. Go for it, mate.
Cox Plate, I used to win every year. I know it's hard to believe, but I won every year. It was unbelievable. Plastered won the Vars. I won a fucking stack. I used to just get there and win.
Buy new plasmas, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So El Segundo, when it was the best weight for age horse in Melbourne, I just kept backing it in futures markets. I had it running for about I think it was in the end 3,500. Said to Cassie, drive us to the races, get on the internet, book flights and accommodation to Fiji because she'd been wanting to go to Fiji for like a year. I said, I'm going to the races. This thing's tomorrow. I'll be home with 3,500 tonight. Dirty fucking Fields of Omar. Beat me.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go for your holiday?
Violet After, I'd also backed Defier a couple of years earlier to win about 2,000, which was absolutely everything to me back then, and was the run of the race. And Dirty Fields of Omar got up the fence and beat it. So,
where'd you take her when we had a couple of hundred just on the click-in run on Blackheart Bart last year? Or did you keep that quiet? This is live, mate, so there's nowhere to hide.
No, she was in Europe, so that was put through the McDonald's drive-through, I think.
When you bought that apartment in,
that's right.
Yeah.
Large vanilla thick shake.
No, chocolate frappe.
Chocolate frappe, and then down the pokies, put 20 through.
So that's my that's my Cox Plate story.
Okay. Do you have one you're declaring over the weekend, Sot?
No.
Okay.
I just tried to find one, but no.
That's all. Tigsy?
I'm with Walshy. I'm going to back Ocean X in the Moonee Valley Cup, but I'm also going to back Lavendi and Cariff. And one I want to back in Sydney, but I'll be more confident if you give a push for it. Pistol, race 4, number 3, Archidemus, who was down here last start behind Windstorm, goes up there. Good little race, but I thought he might give some cheek at about $7.
Haven't looked at it, Tiggs. Couldn't give a stuff about Sydney for the most part. Shit racing. That Bondi's race, it's named after a beach. The winner hasn't won a race since, and here it is nominated at Doomben on the weekend. Go and get fucked. Dickens, do you have something?
Yeah, I thought Barker's ex-horse that his ex owns, Parsifal, in race 3 on Friday night to go good. Is he still watching?
Wait for it. Wait. Probably 5. It will be coming at some point. You'll hear a noise out of him, I'm sure. Yes, he is. Okay, anything else?
I thought Parsifal will go well Friday night. I think you can open the batting with Think We're Due, race 1, Moonee Valley Friday night, build a bank.
Hey, boys, I'm a chance of getting under 90 kilos here. I've beaten. I can hear mounting in the background. I want to say goodbye to you. I've tipped you into stuff, had the piss taken out of me. All the best. See you.
What's fucking wrong with him?
Heaps.
Hopefully he leaves the microphone on. You'll hear him. Taryn, why isn't me dinner on the table?
Come here, Tomcat. Come here.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Thanks very much for...
really enjoyed having more people on the show. It was good.
Yeah, there's been some really good conversation in the chat group as well on YouTube, debating the merits of the Cox Plate, of Colding's runs as well.
What do you think? I was thinking Colding. I just thought it was so bad the few times I went the Melbourne way that at that price I was happy to get rid of it. But who knows?
I sort of pinned it for his impact.
I couldn't take it at the price, especially. I think it's very short.
I missed my chance. I didn't get enough out of it in Sydney. Tigsy may have.
Nah, if he wins, I'll be losing big time.
You have questions, Pete, that you blokes. Clearly, they're not going to ask me questions, but they might ask you other blokes that know what you're doing.
One for Curls. Any thoughts on Epicurious at the Sunny Coast tomorrow?
Epicurious.
Well back to last start and peaked on its run. Added fitness. Looks a good bet from Ben Vernon.
Just trying to remember the race. I've done the races. Yeah. That was first up 1,400 for Louise White. So it was a no bet. First up 1,400, but definitely second up, definitely good chance.
All right. In Sydney for Paddy Heaney, Hilo, however we're pronouncing it. I've got it and Superior marked as bets in that race, which is kind of fine in the market, which is a bit gross, a bit grotty, but can't really knock either of them. I'll back one, save the other, according to what Rob Scurry says. He also wants to know about Toko Riki Lad in Brisbane.
Yeah, it's a messy race, that. That's a real messy race. It's normally sort of gets back, find the line type horse. It did have a flashing light on it last start. I'm just going to wait and see what sort of field we end up with. Like I say, I just found that really a bit of a messy race to try and work out. So horse is clearly going well, though, and definitely with the right run in transit can be winning, but just trying to find him on the right day, getting the right run is somewhat difficult.
And a number of people are asking...
What are questions about Hilo, Peter? Fucking what are we doing?
Yeah, I just talked about it.
Great watch last start.
Sorry, I was reading the age story again.
Okay. Well, yeah. What do we think is going on with Wishy's hair?
Plenty.
It's so lush. It's like
no comment.
Like I need to get there.
First thing that comes to mind is that he's trying desperately to hang on to his youth. And that sort of front fringe fucking Blink 182 fucking I'm all business but I'm here to party look is just about gone by him.
A lot of fire.
He might be only paying for the half strength Rogaine, so it only gets to there. He's got to pay for the grouse.
Imagine his swab. He's like, it's part of his like DNA signature there. He's been on it.
It looks a little bit like maybe he's trying to emulate the alien bloke. It looks a bit like his Yogi Bear. You know the one.
That's how you know that you two, Tiggs and Side, have brought a lot to the show, because we didn't even touch upon the small, medium, and tall greys. We just didn't get time.
All right. Thanks very much, Tiggs, for joining us. It's a pleasure. Jacko, go well tomorrow at Benalla.
Thanks, mate.
Curls, fight the power. You've got a huge weekend coming up as always, but you'll be keeping Jack Dickens company tomorrow night at Sunny Coast.
Can't wait.
Look, there's heaps going on. If you want to get Mounting Yard Mail for Moonee Valley Friday and Saturday, plus Rob's stuff, plus what both of the boys are doing next Wednesday, you can get something called Double Parked on the website. Turns out to be about $10 or so for a meeting. And if you want even more, you can go for a 4-pack, which is now a 7-pack, which works out to be about $8.
And if you back a winner, get involved in the wide receiver, because that was a fill last weekend.
How good was that?
Yeah.
Like making money while you sleep is just the holy grail.
As I said to Dicko, I think I got up for a piss at 5:30 and we were basically home. So I went back to sleep and got up another 2 hours.
Yeah, about 10 o'clock.
He was in there.
Bloody good. All right, guys. Thanks very much. Thank you for watching at home. We'll be back next week.
Happy putting. Ta-da.
Thanks, guys.